Well, hello. It's live every day in May and it's day 17. And today's topic that I'm going to discuss is what I've seen on the news is global warming set to break key 1.5 centigrade limit for first time. Our world is likely to break the key temperature limit for the first time in the next few years, so scientists predict. Researchers say there's now a 66% chance we will pass the 1.5C global warming threshold between now and 2027. The chances are rising due to emissions from human activities and likely El Nino weather patterns later this year. If the world passes the limit, scientists stress the breach, while worrying, will likely be temporary. Hitting the threshold would mean the world is 1.5 degrees warmer than it was during the second half of the 19th century, before fossil fuel emissions from industrialization really began to ramp up. And breaking the limit, even for just 1 year, is a worrying factor or sign that it is accelerating and not slowing down. So there's going to be many consequences for this planet, rising temperature, more floods, more extreme weather patterns, more storm. Uh, when you look at the things that can really happen in this world, if it goes above a certain maximum that scientists say. I mean, we're already seeing some of the signs that we've had in the last decade, really. Because humans are ruining this planet that we live on, and you just can't understand why. Why haven't they realised, human beings, what we're doing to this planet? It's terrible. It's horrendous. So the 1.5 degree figure has become a symbol of global climate change. Negotiations in 2015 in the Paris Agreement, countries were going to set a limit to 1.5 degrees. All right, it hasn't gone above that. Last year it was 1.28. So we're nearly there. Hiya, Tony. Thanks a lot for coming in. You're the first person that's showing on here. So I hope you've had a good day. Just watch your video on the photos. Anyway, back to the global, what was on the news on the BBC and ITV News about the global climate, that figure of 1.5 degrees. Going over 1.5 degrees every year for a decade or two would see far greater impact of warming, such as longer heat waves, more intense storms, more wildfires throughout the world. By passing the level in one of the next few years would not mean that the Paris limit had been broken, but it would allow countries to say, well, there you are, nothing's much has happened, so we don't have to carry it on for that 1.5. So back in 2015, they reckon there was a 20% chance of breaking the 1.5 degrees in the 5 years ahead. So we've stuck it out. So last year, there was an increase by 50%. It jumped to 66%, which the scientists say means it's more likely than not. Earth is off its axis. Yeah, Tone. Yeah, that's a good point. That's another thing that we could talk about. In it, Earth is off its axis. Yeah, I know. I've seen some things about that as well. So, what does going over the 1.5 degrees mean? It means that the Earth has warmed or cooled compared to the long-term global average. Scientists use average temperature data from the period between 1850 and 1900 as a measure of how hot the world was before our modern reliance on coal, oil, and gas. For decades, they believed that the world warmed by around 2 degrees centigrade. That would be the threshold of dangerous impacts. Nuclear bomb in 1989, nuclear bomb did the damage. Hmm, I'll have to do a bit more research on that then, Tony, or if you can put in what you've learnt about what damage the nuclear bomb in 1989 did. I'd appreciate it. I'll put the comment up. So, so the world has been getting a lot warmer. So I will do that. Oh, look at that. Every time I go live, somebody wants me. So I always get that feeling, don't I, that I'm never going to get these live streams done. So uh, I'm going to leave you with what your thoughts are on the warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. So I will see you day 18. So thank you very much for your time. Look after yourself and keep saying bye for now.